Bottom line, she did not open the schools in 2021. She kept them closed at the beginning of that school year. It was a reckless, awful, cruel thing to do.
We've already talked about John Fetterman with the most disastrous performance maybe in the history of debates. Kathy Hochul was not good. Buck, you have been on the front lines of pointing out that really Kathy Hochul is just not very smart, and certainly that came through in her debate with Lee Zeldin, who is pretty
Kathy
smart.
Hochul is a moron pioneer. You could say that, yes.
Yes. And I do think that gets exacerbated when you have an actual intelligent person like Lee Zeldin and Kathy Hochul, and they get on the same stage together. Because when they're campaigning in opposite places, you don't have that face-to-face reality. And so I think that was a stark choice for many people in New York. Also, going on in Michigan, Tudor Dixon has caught Gretchen Whitmer. Remember, everybody was like, oh, there's no way Gretchen Whitmer, the Wicked Witch of the Midwest, she's going to ride off on her broomstick and continue her reign of terror in Michigan. Well, Tudor Dixon, mom of four, under a dog campaign from the get-go, has caught her. And now Gretchen Whitmer's lies are getting more noticed, right? So remember, one reason Tudor Dixon ran was because of the COVID malfeasance that Gretchen Whitmer brought to bear. In particular, kids in Michigan. And I paid a lot of attention to this, Buck, because my wife is from Michigan. We have a lot of family as a result that lives all over the state of Michigan. Much of my wife's family's still up there. My wife, Laura, went to the University of Michigan. So we were up there when Tudor Dixon won this primary. So I've been paying a lot of attention to this race, too. And listen to Gretchen Whitmer just straight up lie to all the people of Michigan and laugh as she says, oh, schools weren't closed that long here. Listen to this cut.
Mrs. Dixon says that I kept students out longer than any other state. That's just not true. I worked closely with my Republican and Democratic governors, and kids were out for 3 months.
That's the biggest lie I've heard in
3
politics.
months?
It's outrageous. It was amazing to see, last night, all these people who were just one after another. I'm a teacher in Michigan. This is a lie. I was a teacher in Michigan. This is a lie. I was teaching third grade in Michigan. It is the most brazen lie. I suppose if she were really pushed on this, which she won't be, because the media is not going to push on Whitmer at all, as we know, maybe she would say that there were some remote hybrid options or something. Bottom line, she did not open the schools in 2021. She kept them closed at the beginning of that school year. It was a reckless, awful, cruel thing to do, and that she would just this is
laugh
the worst kind of gaslighting. And you and I knew this. We've been talking about this for over a year now, that the libs, when finally it all comes crashing down, what are they going to do? They're just going to say, oh, we didn't do that. We weren't the ones calling for that. We didn't say you have to mask up your toddler. Yes, they did. Yes, she did, Gretchen Whitmer. Clay, she was competing with Cuomo. You could tell she was trying to be the most pro-Fauci. Oh, yeah, the most pro-Fauci. She was having the little pillow behind her of Fauci's face during the hits. She was the female Andrew Cuomo, it's quite a thing, during the pandemic. And she needs to be booted from office with prejudice by the voters.
She also, a couple of other things, remember, wouldn't let people take their boats out, which is a big deal in Michigan, and her husband took his boat out. She also got caught in a restaurant violating, much like Gavin Newsom did at the French Laundry, her own prohibitions on how many people can gather in a restaurant. Remember when that was going on and you could only have like 6 people at your table? I mean, all that is so ridiculous. But the fact that she would straight up lie like that and say kids were only out of school for 3 months, I think this is, I was saying to Kathy Hochul, oh, you care a lot about people being in jail. Yeah, we do. We want criminals locked up. I think this is going to echo for Gretchen Whitmer in a big way. If I was running Tudor Dixon's campaign, I would have that clip of her laughing and looking so cocky and arrogant like the Wicked Witch of the West, and I would have that running on my closing argument would be, even now, Gretchen Whitmer is lying to all of you, the moms and dads out there who expressly experienced when your kids were not in school, and say it wasn't that bad. It was only 3 months. Ha, ha, ha.
Do you remember, it was just, I think, maybe last night, the comedian Alex Stein, who's a conservative comedian, he said some stuff to AOC, went viral. He's gone viral a number of times in the last year or so. He was on Tucker's show, and that's where I saw a clip of this. There was this woman who kind of looked like a young Elizabeth Warren. I'm just going to say it. People are already memeing that. She does look like a young Elizabeth Warren, a college student who doesn't like what Alex Stein is saying, has these eyes of rage, and just the biggest spit wad she can pull together right in his face. Just spits. A woman spits right in his face on video, right? That is the equivalent of what Gretchen Whitmer is doing to the people of Michigan by saying, we only shut down schools for 3 months. You unbelievable liar. It is offensive that she would try that, Clay.